What's up, guys? Welcome to BellsRides. I'm Belle.
And I'm Andy. Hey, consider subscribing and smash the bell.
Wait, do it again.
Smash the bell.
We almost practiced that
to
earlier.
get notified.
So we are live at the Loud American. If you don't know where that is, it's in Sturgis on Main Street, and it's right across the street from One-Eyed Jack. It's that way across the street, and Main Street runs right in front of us. It's super cool. It's really exciting to see all of the stuff coming up. We're watching tents going up. Every time we come into town, it's like it's a thing now where we go, hey, let's go for a ride. Okay, where do you want to go? And that's his answer or question, and I'm all, let's go to Sturgis, see what's new for the day. So tents are going up.
We're literally watching a very small tent go up in the front of One-Eyed Jack's.
Right.
They've been working on it since we got here.
I don't think that's closed. I think that's for a bar, an outside bar.
I think it is, and I will tell you that it's not even really that hot today, but these tents are really necessary because, and we're sitting under an umbrella because because the sun, as we've said in many of these,
super intense,
is very intense. So,
and mind you, last night it rained pretty good.
Oh, by the way, hi Flip.
Hi Flip. Mwah. It rained yesterday afternoon super hard. I mean, it messed up. Tullison Life had a live yesterday, and I think with the internet connections and the storm that came in, it messed it all up. So I'm not sure if you guys could hear us. If you can, give us a thumbs up. Let us know that you can hear it. We may have only Flip on here.
Yeah, so far. Well, it is, as I reminded Belle when we are ready to go on here.
Right.
It is Monday afternoon.
People are still working.
Some people are still working and doing their thing. So, but anyway, and we just got here this afternoon, and she's like, I want to do a live from Loud American. So Here we go.
So what my attempt is to bring something new to you guys here in Sturgis before the rally, so that you can kind of hear from our take on what's happening, the build up to the rally. It's actually kind of cool to watch in person. If you're ever able to get here the week before, a couple weeks before the rally, and to see it build up, it's really fun.
Because we're about a week in.
We're 11 days from opening day.
Not that anybody in particular is counting, but
August 5th is the opening day, and Google, that's going off of Google. Google says it's 11 days from opening day.
And Google's never wrong, folks.
Right.
Just saying. So, but yeah, and I think that's a good point to make, though, is that this is our take.
Yes.
Our take, my take, our
Absolutely.
take collectively. There's a lot of people doing very similar stuff or the same thing, but
of course,
it's just our take, and it's because we kind of get excited about weird things, and this is one of them.
To watch the energy.
To watch it go from build, when we first got here, no tents anywhere, no tents up anywhere, and then to over on Lozelle, some of the really, really big ones over there for probably for Harley, Indian, some of the bigger events over there, and some of the big.
Has 4 tents in their parking lot already.
Their tents but anyway, we went from basically no tents to the huge ones going up first, and then now everybody's tents are going up all on Main Street. There's the t-shirt vendors are up. Over on like I said, J&P now has their own big tent up, and then there's the tire tents are up. And for those of you who've been here before, and maybe those who haven't, they have these tire tents, and they change thousands of tires in the week and some change of the rally. And so the tents are already there. The thousands of used tires are not there yet. But so anyway, it's just exciting stuff coming up. Go on.
For those of you who don't know, we're full-time RVers, and we have our mailbox or or mail service. It's a PMB in Rapid City. So we go there probably once a week when we're here. And every time we go to Rapid City, I'll ask on our way back, can we go through town? So we'll get off at the east side of Sturgis and go through so that we could go down Main Street, just so I could see what's going on. So I could see the difference and kind of make notes and look at Harley-Davidson is one of my favorite places to check out, which when we went by there this morning, the entire parking lot was completely full.
With bikes.
And
Because in previous days and weeks,
right,
there's been a lot of trucks and cars and even
Yeah.
some motorhomes and stuff. This was fully
all
loaded with
bikes.
bikes.
It was so cool to
So there's
see.
a lot of folks here.
And they're not bikes for sale. They're bikes who are here now, which is kind of cool. A couple weeks ago, we were at Black Hills Harley-Davidson, and we were there on a Monday, and just the frame of the big tent was up. And then we went to go get our mail on a Tuesday, the next day, and the covering of the tent was on. So it was so amazing to see the progress of all of the setup building up for this big old rally. And I mean, I can't believe that JMP already has 4 tents.
Yeah, and they're not done yet because the front ones is usually like Vance and Hines and a bunch of, there's a bunch of other tents, the vendor tents that go up in the front.
I think Progressive is there. I know Nelson Rig will be there.
Progressive was definitely there last year. And I'm sure they'll be here again this year.
Right. And right down the street, like Loud Americans kind of spread out. There's the main building, and then they have a pavilion right next to it that has their stage. That's set up, and then they have a craft beer big rig trailer. It's literally a 44-foot.
It's a big trailer with
box trailer.
Look at this old bike going
that
by.
Is,
and that's the cool thing. So side note, that's the cool thing.
Right.
That is a late 40s, early 50s motorcycle that just went by.
Harley Davidson.
We're not talking restored vintage in a museum. This guy looks like he rides that thing regularly.
Every day, cool probably. That was a nice bike. But anyway, there's a 44-foot box trailer, big rig box trailer that is a craft beer. And then right after that, there is the official Sturgis tent is up. Yeah. So it's so cool to see all of the stuff that's coming up.
Yeah, Black Hills Harley-Davidson has their I guess they call it their outlet tent, but anyway, they have a huge tent on the Lozelle they put up, which just has all their overflow t-shirts and other merchandise in there. We've been in there a couple of times.
Right.
And they have a lot of stuff. Sorry, the flies are
crazy
kind of terrible right
now. And then also Harley-Davidson has across the street from the main store here in Sturgis, they have another outlet store, an actual building that's up now. That's where Something Dogs was. DAWG.
I was going to say the Wiener Dog place. I don't know what it's really called, but
I don't remember the name of it. But they were part of the world record poker run, and we stopped at their location in Colorado somewhere on our way up here for that, which leads us into the food and beer and all those places. So since we've been here, we have been trying different locations for food and beer, breweries, craft beers, that kind of stuff to share with you guys. And I'm just going to go down the list. We're here at Loud American. They have on Main Street the coldest beer on Main Street. And our waitress, I haven't got her name yet.
I haven't got her name either, but she's
super cool.
She's actually really a lot of
super
fun. And
cool chick.
She's very, very a little bit of sass built into it.
But that's part of the gift.
But it's a good
it's
sass.
A good sass.
It's not
an asshole sass.
I'm not going to be mean to you, sass. It's just a good sass. But
yes.
Then there's Knuckle Brewing,
which
brewery.
Is literally around the corner.
We go down. But anyway,
it's right there.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, Knuckle Brewing's right there, which is also attached to the Knuckle Saloon. One's on one side. one's on the other.
Right.
And they're under the same ownership as Sturgis Brewing Company, which is on the east side of town.
Right.
And
So if you
fully
like
open.
craft beer and pizza, you could go to either one of those, the Knuckle or Sturgis Brewing. The Sturgis Brewing is like flatbread, so it's a long, skinny crust pizza, and it's kind of that, my favorite, the crispy, crackery type of crust. And then, but they have it at both locations. And then another new.
Well, hold on before you leave. Sturgis Brewing Company, by the way, last year they did not have their kitchen wasn't up.
That's right.
Because they had a food truck out there.
Right.
And this year the kitchen is up and running.
Right.
And they have a bigger selection of stuff.
We were here in October and it wasn't up yet. And so now we go in there probably.
We've been there a couple times.
Maybe once a week.
No, we've been there a couple times.
Yeah. So anyway, great pizza. It's awesome. And then, what else? Oh, Jacob in Deadwood. That is also a brewing company, a brewery. And so the food, they have hand-patted cheeseburgers, which is normal food. But it's kind of artsy-fartsy.
They have a little, if you like a sort of, a little bit toned down Guy Fieri.
Yeah.
So think about all the stuff and all the sauces and all the stuff they put on.
Right.
They're kind of like that a little bit, but they have, I'm pretty simple eater, and they have food that I can eat there. It's really good. Their beer selection's good, and their beer's really good. And I'm going to jump in on you because Mr. Woo's is in Deadwood.
Yes.
And it's right when you first go on to historic Main Street. It's the first place on the right, and Mr. Woo's has actually an Asian style Thai and other stuff food trailer, very clean, very nice looking, right outside. But they have
$2 beers,
draft beers, not cans, folks, draft beers.
So 16 ounces for $2.
If you want craft beer, which they have a couple of, because $2 drafts are things like Bud Light, Michelob Ultra we drink,
right,
and those kinds of things. But if you want a craft beer, you have to pay a whole nother $1.
A whole nother $1 for a craft beer.
$3.
$3. It's pretty amazing.
Give Mr. Woods some money. Give him some business.
Yeah. Now
Good
it's not anything fancy.
No, not at all.
It's a casino, and it's a really small casino, but cheap beer and ice freaking cold. Oh, and the ladies that work there are amazing. They're so nice.
Another guy on an old Harley was telling this lady in their SUV, "Hey, your gas cap's hanging out of your little gas flap thingy." It's like,
right.
Because she kind of looked at him like, "What are you doing?"
What are you doing?
So being nice. What else we got?
We have Sawyer's.
Oh, so Sawyer's is one of my favorite places, and it is, by the way, walking distance. If we want to
long walk.
If we want to walk through the creek from our RV park, we could do
straight ahead. I mean,
we could go straight across. If we want, we can ride our bikes there, which we have done.
Bicycles.
But however, it is they have their food is very limited. Limited in the sense it's pizza and salads.
Right.
Good pizza, flatbread style pizza, oven baked. It is good.
In a fire
oven. The wind's taking a moment's notes away. But their beer selection is really good, and it's all their beers. They don't have guest tappers or anything like that. They just have theirs. But they have everything from, they have a Mexican lager style beer. They have a raspberry kolsch. They have stouts. They have, IPAs, and anything you can think of, they have. And their beer is really good. And the people that work there are really super friendly and super nice. So, and it sits right on the creek. If you want to sit outside when it's not 100 billion degrees, there's Spearfish Creek goes right by the back of the restaurant.
It's very pretty.
It's a very cool place.
Now, if you want...
And everybody has flies.
Yes. Okay, so the flies in Sturgis, Spearfish,
Rapid City.
Deadwood, Rapid City. I don't know about
Everywhere we've been.
Everywhere we've been have been gnarly. Oh, wait. Rushmore was not bad.
That's because the National Park Service doesn't allow them. they don't allow flies.
Right.
So who we got here? The beard. What's happening, man?
The beard, baby.
Sorry, I had to do the whole glasses down, otherwise everything just looks black on the screen. They're prescription and they're super duper dark, so you'll see me do this all the time. But
okay, so back to the food locations. Now, this is from personal experience. If you like really, really, really good pizza,
folks, this is my favorite.
Okay, so they have sourdough crust.
Who is it?
I'm getting there. Just hold your horses, mister. They have their sourdough starter. If you are a baker or know anything about sourdough,
and if you're like
you have to have sourdough starter. It's from 1880. That is freaking amazing. Tim Fly.
Yeah, there's.
And how they present it. Oh my God, it's so good. It's called Dough Traders. It's right behind Killian's in Spearfish, which is also a great restaurant.
Which is off of, and I can't think of the name of the street. I'm going to get it wrong, but I think it's
exit 12.
I think it's Jackson. It is exit 12. You'll drive right through the middle of, you'll go right past Main Street.
Right.
And you keep going south. You go a roundabout, and then it's off to
right
the left.
There.
You'll see Killian's on the left as you go by towards the roundabout. Killian's, by the way, is super good too.
Another great place. They have great beer on tap.
This pizza is the best pizza I have had.
Everywhere that we've been in the entire state for pizza, Dough Traders is the best.
This beats pizza for quite a while. I haven't had this good a pizza in a long, long time. And it's thin crust, just naturally. That's what they have. Hand tossed. They'll cook. We like it well done. They cook it perfect for us, but they'll cook it just however you want it. It's a cute little place, and it's a remodeled Tasty Freeze. And for those of you who have been around them, you can kind of tell when you drive up. But super nice people, and the food, and it's not real expensive.
No, so we get the large one, and we add a couple little ingredients like mushrooms and black olives, but it's like $22 for a large pizza.
And their beer is probably more regularly priced. It's somewhere between they have like 4 IPAs that are $4.50 a pop.
Yeah.
But their beer's sort of an average price. But
right.
But however, one thing you have to, there's a lot of places in the area we've seen and run into event is cash only.
Yeah.
And then you don't get into different prices, and they don't get gouged on credit cards, stuff like that. But as long as you know ahead of time, you're good to go. They have an ATM, but anyway, that is a super good place to go.
Yes.
And I'm sure during rally it's probably busier than all get out. I would imagine. Now Killian's is.
I don't know. I know Killian's is, but because of their location, they're up the hill and behind Killian's, so they're kind of. We didn't even know it was there for the longest time, and we saw it when we were here in October, and never made it. And then this time we made a point to go to it, and oh my gosh, what a treat! Super good.
And I didn't have cash, so I had to. She went in, got a table or a seat at the bar, and I ran down to the local credit union, got me some money, and then came back. But
which was a big adventure all in itself.
Yeah, because when we're here, we drive the dually, and those of you who have dualies know what I'm talking about. They don't fit through drive-thrus very well.
Right.
So anyway, and I have a Ford dually, which means I have no U-turn turning radius at all, 0 zip tilts.
Right.
But it's across all Bear.
And a couple more places on the restaurant locations. In Spearfish, there's a little tiny place on the corner of Main Street called Nona's. And they don't have a huge menu. Come out of my mouth.
But it's like homemade Italian.
It's all homemade, and if you don't see anything on the menu that you would like for instance, they have gnocchi, and I love it. It's one of my favorite dishes, but I kind of don't like how they prepare it, and so I asked if I could get a different sauce, and they're like, "Yeah, what kind of sauce do you want?" And so they made me a special kind of sauce for mine, and it was such a nice treat to have a dish cooked specifically for me. It was really nice. It wasn't.
Well, and we went there the first time. Well, not the first time. We went there a couple times, but we went there the first time, just the two of us.
Right.
And we ate at the bar, which is where we normally eat.
We normally eat at the bar.
And so we got talking to the bartender, and it was funny because we ordered, and I'm just Mr. Traditional, so I get spaghetti meatballs, right? But the first time I had spaghetti meatballs, so they give you 2 meatballs, and so I asked the second time we went, I asked for 4 meatballs because I wanted extra meat, right? So we went the third time, and we're eating at the bar again. We order our food. Chef comes out of the back of the kitchen, walks over, and he goes, "Oh, so you're Mr. 4 Meatballs?" I'm like, yeah, I guess. So is that a problem? Because no, I just think it's cool when I see different orders, whatever. Right? So they don't freak out when you order something different.
No,
they actually,
it's amazing.
I think it kind of just stimulates, gives them some entertainment for the day,
right.
Because they cook the same thing over and over again.
Right. And then on the restaurant front, my last place that I want to mention is a steakhouse. So it's not over the top pricey, but it's a little bit more. But it's a steakhouse. You're getting what you're paying for. And I just have to say that right now. You will get every bit of what you pay into it. It's called the Buffalo Jump, and what's that town?
No. And you should have prepped me on this because I can't remember. Up. You go. So here's what you do. You go you get on 90 going west towards Sundance, and I'm stalling because I'm trying to.
First exit.
I'll look it up.
Once you get into Wyoming.
There's a Sinclair gas station at the fuel station at the off ramp. You get off there. And you go.
Just look at that.
You go beyond that.
Get the town.
You go beyond the gas station, and it's
on the right hand side. It's a lot of people who have been here. They know of it because there's a bar right next to it. It's a biker bar.
Yep, there's a biker bar right next door. They share actually the same building.
Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of bikes will be in the parking lot, and you go into the steakhouse. And it's like, oh, they're all drinking.
Okay,
they have no idea what they're missing.
Here it is. The town is called Beulah, B-E-U-L-A-H.
Yes.
Beulah, and it is. This does not give you the exit numbers here on there, but anyway, it's Beulah. And when you ride into town, you'll see 2 different places there. And one is
they're side by side.
One is called the Sand Creek Trading Post, apparently. That's the biker bar.
Yeah.
And Buffalo Jump Steakhouse is right next door. And I'm telling you, the food is excellent.
It's almost like family style, but not.
But the people are awesome.
Yes, the owners are
We happened
amazing.
to get one of the owners for a bartender one night. Sweetest lady. And it was awesome.
So that's a funny story. We're sitting at the bar once again, and we have our steak dinner, and we're talking, and she asked where we're
Daryl.
from.
Hi, Clinky.
Hi, guys. Mwah. Where the hell did you go, Charlie Horse? I looked for you this morning to go riding, and you were nowhere to be found. Anyway, we're sitting at the bar, and we're having our dinner, and the guy next to us, he goes, "Where y'all from?" And asking where we're from, and we always kind of, or at least I do, I pause before I answer because a lot of people don't like Californians, even though we're from the good part of California. But I tell him, and he goes, "Oh, okay, well, I'm right down the street at Sundance." And he goes,
I had to catch up.
He goes,
sorry, guys.
"But you got to be careful with that mayor in Sundance."
That mayor in Sundance,
he's kind of an asshole.
He's kind of, yeah, he goes. I thought he said piece of wood, but he did say he's kind of an asshole.
Kind of found out he was the mayor of Sundance.
He was at the time the mayor of Sundance.
So we were sitting there and having
Pretty
drinks with the mayor of Sundance, which was kind of cool because the next week we were, in fact, we were dropping off. It was not the next week. That was the night before the Blue Ride last year.
Like we're on our way home.
Yes, we were dropping off all of the goodies in the Jeep to be for the raffle ticket for the Blue Ride. So kind of cool. We'll probably do the same thing this year because we have a bunch of raffle stuff for everybody to try to win.
I can tell you this, on a Friday and Saturday night, Buffalo Jump Steakhouse, very busy, and you might want to make a reservation.
Yeah, we got lucky.
Especially if you have more than 2 people.
Right, and don't want to sit at the bar. A lot of people don't do what we do, but
yeah,
we prefer the bar. If it's just a couple of us.
You probably need to make a reservation. But anyway, super nice people, great place. Not that they don't get enough business, I'm sure, but give them some love.
Yeah, absolutely.
The beard. Oh, it's in
the beard. I'm kind of curious, DeBeard. What do you do for a living?
Daryl went to get a mic. So Daryl's thing, and it was mostly we kind of figured last night it was mostly internet related. However,
I think it's internet.
Daryl's kind of like me.
Overkill,
Better safe than sorry.
That's right.
I'm gonna redo everything in my trailer. He probably threw his computer in the garbage, went and bought a new one. Yes, we are, Claky. We are at the Loud American.
We are. One of our great places to hang out with our friends.
And by the way, we have front row parking.
We do. So across from us, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bikes across the street from us. Our 2 bikes. And then there's 2 more over there. There's like 15 down the road. It's so awesome to see all of the bikes rolling in.
It's nothing compared to Raleigh, because the whole main street is bikes up one side, down the other side, down the middle.
There's still cagers allowed right now.
But then the mix of folks that are here is really kind of an interesting mix, because we have people on vacation, we have local people coming in from the ranch, we have biker related, I say biker folks, people riding motorcycles, and so there's just a very big mix of folks here, which is good.
Cool.
And it's great for the vendors, because people that are running the restaurants and everything else, because they're getting some early business, so it's good.
We do too, Claky.
Karen from Island. Hello, Belle and
Hi,
Andy.
Karen.
Hi, Karen. How you doing?
Mwah. How are you, girl?
Again, I'm looking at my phone. That's what's giving me the chat ticker, and I'm just not very good typing on that bad boy. So we're just gonna give you the verbal love out here. So very cool bikes going by. And it's, again, not quite like...
He has Reinhardt's on. Look at those.
Yeah.
Very nice.
It's not quite like Raleigh, because Raleigh we probably wouldn't be able to do this, because you wouldn't hear a dang thing.
Right. And the music would be way too loud.
Yep.
Because here at the Loud American, they have a band going almost all the time, day and night.
I think most of the places have a band going most of it. Maybe not a band, but they have some version of music going all the time. But Loud American definitely has bands going regularly in their tent, which is off, like I said, off to our right as we face you. But,
yes.
Okay, so cool. I mean, we're building up.
We are. I'm getting so excited.
I think we already told you guys that we're gonna vacate the area for about 5 days, 6 days.
Yes, I think 5 days.
We
leave
5 or 6 days.
Day after tomorrow, and we're going to Brainerd. What's the state?
Minnesota,
don't you know? Okay, so Brainerd, Minnesota. We're heading there day after tomorrow. We're going to boondock the first night, and then we have an RV site within the Speedway in Brainerd to watch the... Help me with it.
It's Moto America.
Moto America, but what's the one that I really love?
Okay.
Hi, honey.
Just want to say hi. Well, puppy's wanting to say hi. And wasn't like our dog, like getting in your lap. Getting all up in somebody's lap. Brainerd, Minnesota. Brainerd, Minnesota is Moto America, which is everything from the big sport bikes, the little sport bikes, to then the King of the Baggers race. So,
oh, shock,
yeah,
the beard.
Yeah, well, I mean, hey, when is it not a good time to have a beer and a steak? Just so
it's a skinny beer, but it still counts. It's pretty good.
I'm sure not the beard or the
his favorite, I believe, he said was help me out, the beard. It's an IPA, and it's the one that has all the stuff in it.
I don't know. There's only like 80,000 IPAs.
I know. I can't remember
right now. So I'm just saying. But,
I like beer. Whatever kind.
I just like beer. But anyway, so culminating for us, the races for us, culmination will be the King of the Baggers, because we ride baggers, we're interested in baggers. We just think it's really super cool. And by the way, I saw a comment on one of the, I think it was actually on the Moto America site, and I read comments just to see what people say, what the tenor of the things out there in the world. And somebody said, really, why bother? And I'm like, well, I'd like to see your butt get on one of those bikes and go out there and try to do what they do. But anyway, I just
kind of got my hackles up a little bit.
It sort of irritated me a little bit. Why you gotta be negative, man? I mean, we're
Haters
gonna.
will
I
hate,
like watching the sport bikes. I love watching the big. Anything from the 1000cc all the way down to the 350s. Because they're out there doing what they love.
Mm-hmm. Exactly, and they haul ass, and they don't ride them like they're baggers. They ride them like they were their sports bikes.
They ride them like they stole them.
Exactly.
I've seen, but it's going to be very cool to. I've seen the clips, and I've actually watched a fairly good portion of the one that we missed, which was in Laguna Seca.
It was pretty amazing.
Which was funny because so inaugural. So now, and you guys who are who know this and then follow it. The real question, Karen, is why not exactly? I'm with you 100%. Not why, but why not?
Exactly.
But I'll tell you, I've just been following it loosely. But man, Indian and Harley Davidson, I don't care whose camp you're in. They
banging on
have
each other.
both stepped up their game to know. So the race ought to be freaking awesome.
So
that's all I'm saying.
Andy and I are NASCAR fans, and back in the day when number 3 was still around, he would, bump and grind and do what did he call it on the side of the doors?
Oh, giving them well, it's a tire rub, but I forgot what he called it.
But he called it a specific thing.
Yeah, no.
These guys looked like they were bumping and grinding.
And
they
luckily
were so close. They weren't.
I'm telling you, man.
But when they were going through some of these turns, they were like right on each other. Even so cool to see.
Even as light as these baggers are, they're still probably pushing 650. Mm-hmm. I'll probably get it wrong. Somebody can correct me, but they got to be pushing 650. Even with as light as they are and the way they're set up.
Pounds, right?
Pounds. I don't know what their horsepower is. I'm sure it's in the 150 range, but
they're cooking.
Yeah, they're not slamming into each other.
No, but they were so close.
But they're so close.
In the clip that I watched, they looked like they were bumping and grinding.
And if any of us did that on our stock or semi-stock baggers, we would
go boom.
Well, or we would drag half of what's on the left side or right side of our bike off. You would grind half of what's on your bike off.
Knock on something hard. I have not dropped this bike. I would lose my shit.
You shouldn't
if I got it. I knocked on something hard, really hard.
All right.
It's super hard. Anyway, I would lose my shit if somebody bumped and grind on my bike.
Oh yeah, no, that would be there would be a whole movie that ensued after that one. But anyway, so that's what we're gonna do. Yes. We're gonna leave.
Wednesday.
We're gonna leave on Wednesday. We're gonna boondock. We'll get there on Thursday.
Right.
Nothing really happens on Thursday. They're all setting up, kind of like here.
Right. But we'll get
Friday,
to walk around in the barrack,
yes.
the paddocks,
Friday,
and all that stuff.
We didn't buy the Harley Davidson VIP package because when I looked through it, there was only like 1 or 2 things that were gonna really benefit us. It was the same price as what I ended up paying anyway.
And what we won't be able to do because we're not taking our bikes with us. We're bringing our bicycles,
which is kind of a bummer,
to ride them to where the stands are. But we're not bringing our bikes, so why buy that package if we can't ride on the
because one of the big things is the VIP package gives you a parade lap. You don't get to race, but you get a parade lap out there.
Bumping and grinding.
Yeah, bumping and grinding.
Yeah.
We try to stay away. We personally try to stay away from bumping and grinding.
With the bikes.
On the bikes.
Right.
So
right. We're still married, and I like him still.
I got the beard. So anyway, and then everything. The races culminate on Sunday.
We're gonna haul ass home.
Well, we have to leave. because they actually closed the campground down. I think it's 7 p.m. on Sunday.
On Sunday.
So we have to bail out, and then we'll boondock, and then Monday we'll be back here.
Right.
We'll be
And then
back home. What's home right now?
Right.
That's the 4th old bike I've seen go by. Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Anyway, but squirrel.
Squirrel.
I squirrel when it comes to bikes, cars, trucks, motorcycles.
And right now we could do that because there's a lot of bikes rolling through. So it's so much fun to see. Thank you, love.
Just so we don't keep calling her.
I mean,
she doesn't seem to mind sweetie and love and all those kinds of things. So she hasn't slapped me yet. So
she might spank you.
No thanks.
Anyway, we will boondock on Sunday night and then haul ass to get home on Monday. And we have some plans for August 2nd. One of us, if we have cell service, either Daryl, from Tolleson Life or myself will be live on August 2nd because we will be at Wild Bill Hickok's grave toasting him for his 146th memorial. So that one's going to be kind of cool.
I'm trying to keep up on the thing down here.
Right.
All right, so
that's pretty much it. That's
coming
up. We will be live somewhere during the races in Brainerd. Am I saying that right? Brainerd, Minnesota. No.
Can't say Minnesota without saying that. Or North Dakota either. North Dakota, don't you know?
So we will be live at the races, so keep an eye out for that. It will be a little bit different probably because of the sound. And also, we're not going to be in one place. I want to walk around with you guys live and showing you what the racetrack is like and what the experience is like, kind of bring you with us so that you could enjoy it as well.
Absolutely. And just on a side note, I love it when people stop to check out my bike because it doesn't happen as often as Shell's bike. Shell's is the pretty one, but I had 2 guys across the street on their bikes. Yeah. Stop, turn around, make a couple of comments about my old POS. It's good to see the old POS get some views. So now.
Side note, I got to ride his bike this morning because he took his truck into the shop, and so I rode his bike to pick him up because his bike has passenger footboards, and I don't on my bike, kind of on purpose, accidentally on purpose. And wow, what a difference in riding position. My bike is definitely quicker but I think his is, am I saying that right? Quicker is immediately faster overall.
Yours is probably quicker off the line and right up, immediately up.
And yours is the long haul faster.
Don't get me wrong. I'm a huge Milwaukee 8 fan.
I love my bike. Love it.
I think the technology advancements they made over the Big Twin, which is what mine is. I have a Big Twin 110. The advancements they made over the 110 are ginormous.
Right.
So don't get me wrong. I love my bike, but by the way, before it went live,
I was going to tell
I was on Harley Davidson website looking at what none other than crate motors. Mine doesn't need one yet, and so
131.
So why am I looking? And the first one that pops up was a Milwaukee 8 131, which I'm sure some of you could tell me that I could probably fit it into my fit it into my frame.
I was telling him, Professional Monkey, he just did that, and that he needs to go on and look at the video because it's freaking amazing.
Well, again, I do not need a new motor. I only have 27,000 miles on my bike, so
right.
She still runs good. There's some things I'm gonna have to get in and do to it, but from the time I was about 12 years old, I have messed with everything I've ever owned. It's just the way I am.
Okay, so that term is not really.
Well, it messed with, improved in a lot of cases. Sometimes I did what Karen said. Why not?
Yeah. Sometimes it was just a pure on fuck up.
Well, and some of it was just like, because I would ask my now brother-in-law was my best friend when I was a kid. I would say, well, I'm going to do this. And he'd go, why? And I would be like, Karen, well, why not?
Right.
Because I can. Or at that point, because I think I can. Anyway, we're kind of we're kind of squirreling off into no man's land.
Exactly. I just want to say, if you're coming to Sturgis, you have a great rally ahead of you. The excitement. We're 11 days, almost near 2 weeks. Still 11 days away, and the energy, I can feel it building, and it's really, really cool. And so you have a great rally ahead of you.
And if you're not coming to rally,
right?
We being her, we being Belle, and the tag along over here, we, the Tallest in Life, and so many other channels.
Yes. The Badgers,
that are there's so many
road therapy.
There's people we don't even know. We were watching a couple of guys walking up. I was watching them go up and down. He was taking video, and I'm sure he has a channel too. But anyway, there's so many people out there. Mm-hmm. There's gonna be so much content out that you'll be able to feel like you were here, which is cool.
That's what we're hoping, that we're able to share this part with y'all, is because I'm sure I'm not doing it justice, and Andy isn't either, but the atmosphere is building and building. Every day it seems like it's getting a little bit more exciting.
It is, and it is hard to convey that, without just using all kinds of weird terms, but it is extremely exciting.
It is.
And maybe, during rally for sure we'll do some walking around with the camera.
Oh, absolutely. We'll take you guys along with us on a live walking around, so that you guys could see how many freaking people are going to be here, and just how cool everybody is.
And I don't know if we were very good about doing it, but I know, because I think you did some, but I know Daryl, Tallest in Life, mm-hmm. came down here and went around, did a bunch of videoing when there's basically nothing going on, and he's doing kind of the same thing.
He is.
It's trying to chronicle how this sort of builds up.
Yes.
But I'm telling you, you find a video where somebody
that was
walks
a Yugo that just drove by.
Oh my God.
Do y'all remember what Yugos are? Oh my God.
Well, what they were, what they weren't. They weren't a car. And they were something that Yugoslavia tried to put on the world market, and it weren't. Anyway, so that's. Look, find a video. I don't care whose it is, but find a video. Tollison's going to have one out, mm-hmm. for sure, that shows what this place looked like before, like when we first got here.
Yes.
And then what it's like during rally, and your jaw will drop. If you've never been to Sturgis, you're like, huh? Holy crap! A little tiny town transforms into that, and that's the big thing. Is this is a very small town. It's 7,000. It's 7,000 people.
Right.
Not a huge place.
So. Back to Tallest in Life. He just did a video. It was an interview with the chief of police of Sturgis. And a little fun fact, there's two things that stood out. There's much more than that in the video. But two things that stood out is that they shut the street down at 2 o'clock in the morning of August 5th. So really early. They get it all ready. They barricade both ends so cars can't come in here. And they shut it down every night so that they could come in and clean and change the trash cans and all of that stuff. The second thing that really stood out is put 1 foot down when you stop at a stop sign so you don't get a rolling ticket. So, you have a phone call.
I do. Karen said, don't forget the blue ride. I got to step out, folks.
That's right. Thank you, Karen. So just to make sure that all of you guys who see this, now this video will be available after the live is over. But the blue ride, it's August 7th. Get your tickets early, please. It will help me so much. Just for the processing, so that when we're doing registration, we just sign a paper and you're good to go. We don't have to do money transfer and all that stuff. So the blue ride is to benefit Operation Good to Go. It's a nonprofit that is ran by a veteran a Marine veteran who suffers from PTSD and severe brain injury. All of the funds will go to the nonprofit in the memory of Austin Ramsey. He was a deputy at Andy's Sheriff's Office. And
all right, Brandon. Thank you, man. Bye.
Do it over there.
Sorry, guys.
Deputy Austin Ramsey, it's in his memory, who suffered from PTSD. He was a Army veteran, ranger for the Army, and he had PTSD. Nobody knew he had PTSD. He hid it. I mean, can you imagine being a law enforcement officer and you have PTSD and you're supposed to, I mean, they don't go together normally, you know, but there's so many law enforcement officers in the world, in the United States, who have PTSD, and they all hide it because their careers depend on being able to have a weapon. And if you have PTSD, a lot of people have the stigma attached to it that maybe they shouldn't have a weapon.
Yeah, I think most of them are afraid.
They're afraid that they're going to lose their career. And their families depend on them, and there's a bunch of crap that goes along with it. So this is the Blue Ride this year is really special to me because it is to bring PTSD out in the open, as it already has. There's a lot of people that are doing it, but awareness is so important, and people don't think about law enforcement officers or first responders who, oh my gosh, she almost nailed that girl with water. Sorry. Anyway, first responders, they show up on a scene and they see something so horrific that they can't get over. That's a form of PTSD. There's law enforcement officers, the same people that roll up on the same accidents, or they have to shoot somebody to save somebody else, or, you know, there's so many scenarios where PTSD becomes a part of a law enforcement officer's life and the military veteran's life. And it's just bringing it into out in the open to talk about it, not to have a stigma on it, you know, to show support, to give them, to show our love for them. And Operation Good to Go is not only for PTSD, but for veterans, but also for veterans who are homeless. He is an amazing, amazing dude. I'll put the link in the description of the video down below. You can check out his website and the work that he does. All of the money will go to that organization, 100%, along with any sales of any t-shirt that are on my store. If it's the Blue Ride t-shirt, if it's my BellsRides t-shirt, I don't care. All of it will go to the nonprofit. So that's pretty much it on that.
That's it. Sorry for the interruption. My truck is apparently, I need to pick it up. So. Anyway, yes,
More
and
bikes.
That's it. The Blue Ride's a very important thing, and the cause is extremely.
It's very important to us. It's on August 7th. Registration starts at 9 o'clock. We will have the raffle between 9 and 11. Kickstands up at 11. This man right here has agreed to be our backup Grand Marshal, because unfortunately Hells on Two Wheels couldn't make it, but it doesn't matter.
We're celebrating military veterans, so
that's right.
It makes sense that I was voluntold to do it.
Voluntold.
That's the military people will know exactly what that means.
Oh my goodness. If y'all haven't heard, our son is preparing to go into the military, so keep your fingers crossed that he actually, his medical is approved and that he's able to go in, because it's something that he's dreaming to do, and I've never seen him so excited to do something in his life other than rugby. Rugby, he worked this hard on rugby, but you know, as a big people, he's trying to serve his country, so keep your fingers crossed on that. I think we need to wrap it up.
That's it. I'm done. Stick a fork in me. I'm done.
All right, guys. Until next time, first of all, thank you so much for joining us. Your support is heartfelt. I appreciate you guys more than you can know, more than I could say, and more than you'll know. Thank you again, and enjoy the ride.
Fish lips.